Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and we're gonna have tea with Tyler. You can definitely get these mugs on my website, inspiredbytyler.com. Make sure that you like and subscribe for more. There is literally a free hack to make your life so much better. Keyword, gratitude. I know it sounds a little bit cliche, but if you really truly understand, it is a game changer, and it has been for me. I think it just starts off with sometimes life can be discouraging or disappointing, and we wish something went a certain way, and sometimes we've experienced a lot of pain because it didn't go the way that we would have liked, or it went in a way that was so much worse than we could have ever imagined. But when I actually lean into gratitude from a place that's actually genuine and not one that's just forced or like how people might say it from a commercial perspective, but actually think about, okay, I have a home, I have clothes, I have food, I can travel, I've got friends, I've got family, like I have love in my life, like I'm supported. That is something that everybody doesn't have. And I think what we have is different and unique to each and every one of us. But no matter how challenging things are, we really have to sit down and reflect on what's actually going well in our lives. And what's crazy is sometimes we're literally sitting in our answered prayers from a previous season. Like, even if you think about, I'm a post-grad student, but when I was in college, the goal was to graduate, get a good job. And now I'm in a point in my life where I've achieved those things. So I'm literally walking out an answered prayer from previous in my life. And so it's important for us to really acknowledge those things, and leaning into what we're grateful for helps us to get through the challenges. It helps shape our point of view. It helps us to realize that there is more to our life, more in store for our futures than some of the difficulties that we're experiencing. If I can be real with y'all, there was a time where I was kind of angry with my business. I didn't really want to paint anymore. I felt kind of like abandoned by God, and just really frustrated with life, frustrated with singleness or loneliness or heartache. Just I've experienced pains in my business and just life trauma in general. But honestly, God gave me this gift, and it's a privilege to have a talent, and it's not one that's just supposed to be for me. And so I feel like I would not be doing the purpose that God has me on this earth for if I just kept all that inside of myself and did not actually do what God called me to do. I think part of it too is I experienced a lot of success in my business, and I've also experienced some really big failures in my business. And when I was at the point of success, I didn't really understand what it would mean for that to change. I kind of thought once you hit this certain level, there is no going back. But once I understood that there was a completely different side of people having this high demand for my art, or me being kind of the only one people knew about who was doing this, and just seeing the true transition of high to low, it made me realize that those highs, that was a blessing that everybody didn't get a chance to experience, and something that was not a guarantee for me. Once I went through that, I realized that if I ever got another opportunity to experience that type of favor, that type of success and growth, then I had to really appreciate it. And so just keep in mind that some of the good things that you have, they can be taken from you. And we don't want to just assume that the good things are ours. That's why when we have something good, we got to thank God for it. We have to lean into it, and we have to take all the good that life has to give us, because there's enough challenging things. So when we have something good, we got to just snatch it up. When life is challenging, a lot of times it feels like I'm just trying to survive. I'm just trying to get from one day to the next and make it. But you do have a secret weapon, and that is gratitude. That is being thankful for all that God has done for you and using that to fight your way through. Perspective is so powerful. And a lot of times people have more faith in what the devil's going to do than faith in what God's going to do. And by being a believer and by really having some history with God, where I've seen how he's worked in my life in some areas, I have to lean into the fact that if God can do that over here, he can do it over there too. So rather than faith that God won't, I'm trying to lean into faith that God will. And it's worth it. And sometimes it's that crazy faith that makes no sense, but it's important to pray about this stuff too, right? Like, if you're not at peace, you can pray for peace that surpasses all understanding, and God will give you that. But it's a two-way street. We have to trust him, And then we have to allow him to guide us. We have to allow him to truly change and transform our hearts as well. Gratitude is truly a weapon, and it's one that I feel like people don't talk about enough from how it can truly impact you. But if you look at a situation that many people might say is bad, but you look at the opportunity, that's a life hack. And honestly, through pain is sometimes where God can help you fill that gap. So let's say that you go through something and it's painful and you see a way out, or you have a different point of view than somebody else. That might be your area of opportunity. That might be a way for you to make some money and fill the gap, or even, make an impact and help others so that they don't have to go through what you went through. It's really important to also think about ways to help keep yourself grateful, to keep yourself grounded. And one thing that's really helpful is journaling. I feel like I could journal more than I do, but whether it's a journal on physical paper like what I have, which you can get on my website if you're interested, or if it's even just leaving something in your notes, it's important to have those reminders of what's good and what God has done. I have like little scriptures that are stickers on my bathroom mirror. I have a ring on and it says be still. I have a necklace on right now that says faith. And I think having certain reminders really does help. And even my screensaver on my phone, I made a faith-based vision board that I use as a screensaver, and it has scripture on there. It has all of the things that I'm believing in God for, and that really helps me. So I think if you can find ways to have these reminders that might even be subliminal, like you might not even pay attention to it, but it's in your view, I feel like those things start to change you. And also, we spend so much time on social media listening to everybody talk about something, and some people are not qualified. Sometimes you're getting fed information that is not good for you. You got to clean up your social media. If you're following people or pages that are not good for you, mute and unfollow. Period. You have to protect your peace. You have to protect what you upload into your mind and into your heart. And then replace that with something better. We don't only want to just be listening to the music that's out right now, which is very different than it used to be. Very vulgar. A lot of times just feeding negativity into us. Replace that with something uplifting. A lot of times I'll come to YouTube and find a sermon, or I'll find somebody who makes me feel better about myself or has a perspective that really helps me. And I just started to train myself and rewire my mind. Also, therapy is a huge life hack. And you don't always just go to therapy because something's wrong. Like right now, I don't have something that's just like super wrong. I have in the past, but I've done so much work to move through it that I'm in a pretty healthy space, thank God. Therapy is a really great space. I treat it as a boundary system on my life, just to kind of keep me from going too far in one direction or the other. In the spirit of really leaning into gratitude, I want to know what's something that you're grateful for. What's something that could help encourage the next person? If so, just drop it in the comments, share it with us. And also, if you like this type of content, if you want to learn more about my journey, my faith walk, want to learn more about art, this is where I'm going to be sharing a lot of that in a more in-depth way. Please give me a subscription, like, comment. I appreciate your support always. But you got this. God got you, and I love you.